In this help video, I'd like to look at loading intraday ASCII data into MTPredictor version 8. The first thing we need to do is set up a data connection. So we go to Tools, Connection, and then we come down to New. I'm going to give it a name. Doesn't matter what name you give it. You then come down and select File System ASCII Metastock. So File System ASCII Metastock. We now have to add a folder. In other words, this is the folder that's on your PC, so MTPredictor knows where to find your data. So you do Add Folder. You then do Select to choose the folder path. In other words, you navigate down to where your data is actually stored. And I've got some 1-minute data for the USE minis in this particular folder, but you highlight your folder, then do OK, and now you have a different menu open up here. It knows the format is ASCII already, so you can leave that as it is. Here you have an option to change the time zone that your data is actually saved in, but normally I'd just leave this as it is, because that's normally the default time for most intraday data. That's fine. You then have to change the asset group, and this defines our position sizing for the data files that you have in this particular folder. Now for this I'm actually using USE minis, so I need to come down and select US and European futures, but say if your data was for Forex, you'd select which pip size you're going to use for your Forex data, or basically you choose which option here best defines the data that you have in your folder. So I'm going to do US and European futures because these are for the USE minis. You then now have an option to change the trading hours. Now for intraday data this is really cool because you can either plot the whole 24/7 data, or you have the option to change a session time for that particular folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this to US index futures regular trading hours, which is the day session for the USE minis, because that's what I want the format to be in when we actually load it into MTPredictor. Excuse me, got a bit of a cough there. It knows that it's minute data. You can see there it is there. You now have an option to change any of these columns down here. This is a sample of your data file, and basically it shows you what the format is. So if any of these columns are wrong, you can then right mouse click. Say for example if the time's wrong, you can right mouse click and then change the time format for that particular column. Or if any of the other columns are wrong, say the date's wrong, you can right mouse click and then change the date format that your data is actually saved in. MTPredictor makes a guess at what is in the data file, but you can change that if you wish by right mouse click over the column header. Then you have an option to change what's in that particular column. Once this is correct and you're happy with this, you then do OK and there it is defined. If you wanted to add another folder and define that, you can go ahead and do that at this point in time if you wish, but I'm just going to leave that as it is and then do OK. And there it is defined in the connection manager. I'm now going to do OK again, and there it is defined in MTPredictor, ready for you to use.